Hole 1, 192, big ol' headwind. Almost feel like a forehand with this guy. Get stable? Oh, it's beautiful. I do not have luck with this disc or this box in general. The Latitude 64 Royal Box recently came out where they have a new putter mold, the Peak. And when I was reviewing it, I said, it's pretty much just seems like a beaded pure. So we're gonna kind of put that to the test today. I brought out a pure, it's in the Project Grip plastic. I've also brought out the Peak. They are the same color, which is a little bit unfortunate because it's the only Peak and pure in premium plastic. Ooh, lots of P's that I own. Not a bad first forehand here, but for the video with the Royal Box, it was really windy. I needed to birdie twice with every disc to keep it, and I didn't birdie with the Peak twice. So I put out on my community poll here on YouTube, how low do I need to score at a shorter course to keep the disc? And some people were like, why don't you just keep the disc? And I'm like, because that's not as fun. I'm probably not even gonna throw it anyways, but I like giving myself challenges. So 15 or 16 under is what we need to shoot today with this bad boy in order to keep it. Oh, sneaking it over for a good start. So I went to Valmont Disc Golf Course, which I haven't been to in like half a year maybe, and there are some longer holes. One of them's over 400 feet, but this wasn't my first choice because I actually went out to another course called Frontera Disc Golf Course, which was a 9-hole with 2 baskets, arguably a little bit easier, but the winds that day had gusts in the mid to high 30s and were consistently around 20 miles an hour. What? This was the worst idea ever. So we're gonna call it a time where I will not hate the sport that I love. See you then. And right now it's pretty bad. So all 3 times I've tried to go out and film with this, it just has to be the windiest days. Today wasn't even supposed to be windy. It was supposed to be like 4 miles an hour max. And the gusts right now are into the 30s, maybe the 20s. It's a lot though. But we're gonna try to have a really fun and good round today. And this is the Peak. But they look almost identical. They just literally added the bead to this, which, if you remember, is kind of what Paul McBeth did with the Luna and now the Kratos. And the Pure is already a little more overstable than a 3.3 -1.1 in my opinion. They don't have flight numbers for this. I might call it 3.4.01 or 3.3.01 because it is more overstable, but the bead isn't major and it doesn't add a crazy amount of stability, I don't think. So we're gonna be throwing both of them on every hole, but just scoring with the Peak so you can see what the differences are. And hopefully, if I either shoot 15 down or I'm adding this, if I ace with the Peak today, I'm keeping it. Hole 2, up the hill, 200 feet, big old left to right. Whoa, geez. I need to make sure my camera's more stable. By far the worst part about disc golfing in the winter is how crazy windy it gets. Hit something. Okay, that's pretty good actually. A little headwind putt, but didn't really burn over even in that much wind. This is gonna have to be a little flatter, I think. Emphasis on a little flatter. Those are great shots though. I'll also be putting with the Peak today in the base Royal Sense plastic. I was really excited about this mold when I was initially reviewing it, and I think it's still really good, but it might not be as like groundbreaking as I thought it would be, because for a long time I had talked about maybe wanting a more overstable Pure, so maybe a Pure with a bead, and now I actually have one, and it's a good disc, but I don't know. There's just something about it that I can't quite grasp yet that doesn't make me insanely crazy about it, even though I absolutely love the name, and I think it is a good disc. That's not the start we need. 1 through 2, one of my 3 potential pars for the whole round. After coming out today, for the 3rd time attempting to try to keep it, it might just be written in the stars that we're gonna be reviewing them and having this be a send-off round. One of the reasons I was excited for a disc like this is because I liked putting with the Pures for a while. And this, I thought I would like, because now I'm putting with beaded putters, but it's so rounded over that I don't love it as much as I thought I would. Maybe that's just because I haven't been putting well with it, but I really think just the hand feel, I've changed kind of what I've liked as I found the P2Xs from Gannon and really liked them way faster than I expected. But we have a big headwind here, 162 feet. That'll do, maybe a little short in the Pure. A little wider, a little higher, a little more in the basket. Oh, dang. The Pure is a surprisingly throwable disc into headwinds because it's understable. These are kind of on the cusp of a putter and mid-range to me. And I think that it is a really solid addition to the lineup from Latitude. I think it's just more kind of like a preference-y thing. I don't really remember if Latitude has a lot of overstable or semi-overstable putters. Oh, these are also both short. So I think it might fill a gap in the lineup. I am interested to see who ends up throwing it on the team next year. 156 feet. Perfect. Oh yeah. I really like that you can trust it on a touch of Annie and know that it'll still get a little stable, because this one, I don't know if it'll drift too much. I almost feel like I need to throw it flatter or a little bit of hyzer. Equally great shot though. They are very complementary, and the hand feel is very similar, especially on the shoulder, which is where kind of your thumb sits. The rim at the bottom is going to feel a little different because one has a bead and one doesn't, but they are very complementary discs that I can see people throwing both. It reminds me of a faster Judge, I think. I do think a lot of people will be bagging it, and especially being Colorado, you just gotta love the name. 144 feet, tail left to right. Park job. Sit. Wait, maybe not. Maybe not a park job. How do I hit the same tree twice? I do think right now the only place you can pick these up is the Royal Box. I don't remember how long it was from the last Royal Box that the Brave and the Strive got a stock run, but I believe they said that this disc will be coming out either, I think, early spring maybe, or April or May. There are two new discs, this and then the Sweep in that box. The Sweep I really love, a very straight 9-speed. Sweep right here, which is a 9-speed. Get out of it. That is exactly how I wanted to throw that. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Basket right through there. We're gonna have to throw a turnover with these into a head right to left. So pretty specific line, but one of them's coming out early spring or maybe in like February, and the other one's coming out April or May. And I think the Sweep is going to do significantly better than this. Actually, maybe not. There's so much competition in that category, and Latitude doesn't really have one of these, but they did have something similar to the Sweep. So 201 feet. Beautiful. Maybe a little short, but I really like that because we're going into that head cross, and a lot of other overstable putters you'd think would, or I would call this a stable putter, not even overstable, but they would like fight out and then get a little bit of a swing back left. But this one really didn't, even though I'm only throwing it 180, 200 feet. Here's the pier. It's hard going into a wind that's a crosswind with a disc that it wants to turn a little bit. I need to make sure to birdie all the easy holes today, otherwise I have no chance of shooting 15 down. There's a couple that are like 300 to 310, and then there's a couple that are 360 to 420, and those ones are definitely bonus birdies. So this putt becomes a little more important. Feels like it's almost playing at being an overstable putter, but it's more straight. But it does have those times where it really shows that it has some good torque resistance. So it's really an in-between between a stable and overstable putter. It almost reminds me of like a reactor from MVP, where you have the Hex, which is very straight, sometimes can flip over. You have the Pyro, which is overstable. And the reactor's kind of in between, where depending on how fast you throw, it's either going to be very straight or have a little stability. And I feel like that's similar to this. Hole 7 is tricky. 174 feet, right to left wind. There is this hyzer, but the wind is too silly. You really just need to throw straight. I think I might try a forehand. That did not work at all. Okay, this is actually way worse than I thought it would be. It's like a legit scramble. There's absolutely nothing. This has bogey written on it. So it goes right through this coin slot. Sit. Hit something. No. Oh gosh, it definitely has bogey written on it now. Oh, I knew pulling up today when I saw how windy it was that it was a long shot. And at this point, I need to birdie everything or get that ace. So we're probably gonna be ace running a few more holes now that I've already missed 3 potential birdies and I'm only 4 down through 7. Hole 8 in the 360-foot position. Hopefully you can see it. I think calm conditions, this hole is gettable. The next hole I don't even think is actually gonna have a strict helping wind, because this one is, oh, actually it might. That was blown straight back in my face. Oh, wow. Is there a right select out there or something? Because that didn't try to flip at all. Got some good push, but that was surprising. Okay, I kind of snapped that one over, and it was really bad. What would make sense is the more overstable disc is better into a headwind. There's a long putt to keep the dream alive, but if I miss this, it's Ace Run City. This disc traveled very far for going ever so slightly uphill and into a very not helping wind. Keep the dream alive. Oh! Hole 9, 420 feet, way down there. Big tailwind, so turnover, slight downhill. We're gonna go the base classic peak. Try to just crush it. Wow, so why did it stay so straight? Dang, didn't even try to get right at all. Wow, it's just not even letting him get right at all. I think it has to be a little right to left like I was feeling. Shoot. Whew. No chance. It now seems, if you look kind of over here at those tassels, that it's coming this way, which is never gonna let a putter get to the right. So now we're just looking for aces and comparing them. They're surprisingly closer together than I expected. In my head, the Luna and the Kratos are a little more far apart than the Pure and the Peak in terms of their stabilities. Luna, very straight to understable. Kratos, pretty overstable. I do think the Kratos, in specific plastics though I found, is more overstable than this Peak. And I think that would make sense with the depth because it's a little blunter. And so I'm still kind of debating whether or not I really like this disc a lot. I think it's fine, like it's a good disc, but it's not really living up to the hype that I gave it in my head. Oh! Score doesn't quite matter anymore at this point. We'll go Pure versus Peak for these last 9 holes. Of course, if I ace with the Peak, I keep the Peak. Otherwise, it's going in my 50K subscriber giveaway. I'm interested to see, even with all this wind, if my history and love for the Pure can supersede the little added stability that the Peak has. Right at 300 feet, headwind, Peak we're giving the box, and we'll go premium versus premium for the rest of these 9 holes. That is so good though. Like, that's the, oh, I hit the pin. Like, that's the problem, it's so good. I just don't love it as much as I thought I would, you know? Try to throw it a little higher and a little more hyzer. Yeah, we'll go CTPs to make it easier since I only have the 1 putter and Peak is up 1-0. 305, tailwind. You can see the basket just to the left of that lattice down there. Probably gonna throw over the lattice with both of them, just on slightly different angles. Whew, slightly long. It is very fast. Like, DGA came out with the Surf, which in my opinion is very similar to the Pure, and the Sonar, which way slower, way more overstable. Similar to like the PA3, way slower, the P2X, way slower. This, for being a beaded putter, I think the Judge, it might be similar to the Judge, might even be faster, because the Pure is a very fast putter, almost 3.5 speed, and I mean, it just gets out of your hand easily. Oh, and then you shank the Pure. What? Wow, 2-0 for the Peak. Sad day. The base plastic though does fly much more like a Pure, but with a little more hookup at the end. Pure is probably just outside the circle. Peak is pretty parked. And then this one went really far. 215. It's gonna be in the circle down there. The right to left didn't really let it get to the right. Probably should have just done this hyzer, which is what I'll end up doing with the Pure. No way! 0 for 3! I'm really trying. I just, hey, a little pro tip if you want to make YouTube videos, it's never a good sign if you're promising your audience that you are trying. Just never a good sign. 13 tailwind, 210 feet. Stay high. Drop. You need to put it high for it to stay high. Pro tip as well. I'm just full of tips today. Oh wow, that didn't get left at all. I might have more nostalgia for the Pure than I do love for it. I found that about some discs recently. Another one that's gonna be coming out really soon is a video of discs that I used to absolutely love and now I can't throw very well. Probably just less touchy, but also the way that I throw has changed and it's made it harder to throw in. It's a sad day in disc golf when an old fave is now a not good disc for you. And another one, peak 4-0 against the Pure. Am I realizing that I do prefer it? Hole 14, 202 feet straight ahead. You can barely see the top of it. Wow, a lot of headwind. Ever since my camera fell over in the original Latitude 64 box video, I'm so paranoid about it. See, that's that little flip up, but it's got stable. It's way long, but it got stable. Yes! Stay up! Oh, perfect line. It's a little short. The Pure has clawed one back with a park job. Hole 15, 225. Oh, and the Pure has the box. High for the tailwind. That's a good shot. Too straight. Yeah, that disc is way... I keep thinking it's overstable, but it's just way straighter. I think what this disc could be really good for is an overstable, glidey putter for like slower arms, because the glide will help compensate, and it will get overstable if you throw it slow. But I think the added glide is going to help it not just feel like it's a disc that dumps out of the sky, but is actually a really reliable, overstable putter. This one is definitely somewhat close, but the Pure has it over the peak that's by the tree. And now we have an island hole. 3 to play. The Pure is back 4-2. Missing the island from either of these is an automatic point deduction. But if they both make it, whoever's closer still gets the point. 247. Pure's box. Mostly left to right, but a little headwind. I'd say that's on the island, baby. Beautiful shot. That, a little hyzer, is gonna have to be a little anhyzer with this, I think, for it to be good. Oh, it flew the island! It is such a fast putter. Jeez, for being overstayed, it's so fast. Wow, that is so surprising. Oh, and I can't even get that one there. Stuck the island, over the island. 3-3, because the peak lost a point, and 2 holes to play. 216, same win as last hole. Bad try. Ooh. That's better. Ooh. That's nice. Last hole. 3 chances to finally get my ace today. 222 feet. Peak has the box and a 1 CTP lead. Let's end strong. Oh, glided out a little bit on me at the end there. Come on, Pure. For old time's sake. Oh, right in the middle of those two. Which is this one. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, too overstable, wow. The end of that flight is just so glidey and pushy to the left. That's better. This was fun. I'm glad I was able to do this. Also, I'm glad that these are going in the giveaway. I don't need to keep all the discs. I already get plenty, so it's only right that this goes into that 50K subscriber giveaway, so subscribe, because in 2.5 years when we hit 50K, there's going to be like 1,000 discs in there that I'll be giving away if we do get to that many, because right now I probably have 12 or 15, so this was fun. Thank you so much for watching. Fun plans coming for 2025 that I can't wait to announce around New Year, but a lot of great videos coming soon. Peace.